Welcome back to the RS3 Ironman series. Last video we did a bunch of archaeology, as you see that I am AFKing right now as I edit this video. And this video we're going to be looking into mining and smithing. These were already recorded when I uploaded the archaeology video, and I thought I was going to put it in the same video, but it just ended up being too long. So I wanted to preface this and say that if something I said was referencing that last video and it just didn't really make sense, that's probably why. But regardless, enjoy. I really like the mining and smithing rework. Still a little bit confused by smithing a little bit, but I got a grasp of everything that's going on, and that was what my goal was for these two videos, was to get a grasp of mining and smithing and archaeology. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, let's dive into mining and smithing. Like almost any account, I want to start off by doing the Night Sword and the dig site, so I'll be starting off with about level 30 in mining and smithing. Just give me a little head start, and then I can kind of start to explore the content from there. So I got a couple iron ore. Unfortunately, it seems that with this update, the only real way to obtain an iron bar is through smithing it. So to do the Night Sword, I basically need 10 smithing. So I'm going to smelt these bronze bars real quick, since, I'm going to need to do those. I'm probably going to need bronze bars anyways. And I got a couple iron ore that I can deposit into this ore bank. There we go. So that it's ready for once I have 10 smithing. And then I'm also going to do RS3's rework of Doric's quest. Yeah, so what's mine is yours. That's what it was replaced by. And that should get me up to like almost 10 smithing. And so, yeah, that's the plan. But I'm going to do the dig site first. And I think this thing is going to make it super quick. And that would be the dig site. Herblore XP is always welcome, and that brings us up to 34 mining, which is really what we're going for, as well as 2 Herblore levels. And I forgot about this, but I need to come back here at some point and claim the abilities, the tendrils abilities, but I don't have the stats for them right now. But those are, at least if I remember right, the ranged ones were pretty good, and the melee one was pretty good. So those are pretty important abilities. And that right there would be Doric's quest. Excuse me, what's mine is yours. Certainly a bit more in-depth than Doric's quest, not that that's saying much. But let's see, that should bring us to level 8 smithing, so should make a couple things, and then I can make an iron bar so that I can do the Night Sword. There we go, that's a Knight's Sword, and that should get us to something like 30 smithing. Yep, 30 smithing, so that means that we can start off figuring out this whole mining and smithing thing with 30 in each. So let's get to that. Okay, so I've been watching some videos on mining and smithing. It seems pretty interesting, so we'll get into the mining in a bit. But firstly, since we have level 35 mining, that means that we can make the steel ore box. Yeah, level 37 we can make the mithril one. So wait, actually no, I think we can make the mithril one now. But basically, these ore boxes, I think I can make it on the anvil. Here it is. So I need to make each level progressively, which is why I'm making the bronze one right now. So you need the smithing level to do it. And that allows you to hold ore while you're mining. So, and you can hold quite a bit, so it saves a lot of banking time. And from what I can tell, it seems that in RS3, actually, let's go test this out. So I believe the bronze ore box will only store copper and tin. So I need iron for the next one. Boom. Added to my... I must have gotten another one right there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. And then also, at certain mining levels, you get an increase in storage capacity. But I think you need to have the next one available. So I think this one should hold 120. Yep. Okay. And then once I upgrade to steel, it would be 160. And then if I upgrade to mithril, it'll still be 160 until I hit level 37 mining, and then it'll go to 180. I think that's how that works anyways. So this is going to be really big, because from what I can tell in RS3, there's not really, you don't really drop ores, like you bank everything, which I think is cool. I think that's how it always should have been, right? But you always needed way more way more ore than you always needed to mine way more ore for XP than you needed. And also this little orange bar here, from what I can tell, it's kind of like an AFK bar. And if you keep that up, then you're more effective. I still don't really understand the whole penetration, critical damage thing. It's a little bit confusing. That should be plenty enough iron, by the way, to upgrade my ore box. So I'm not sure, but I just know that it's better to like click on it. But if you do go completely AFK, you will still be mining. You'll just keep mining until your inventory is full. It'll just be slower. So overall, this seems pretty cool. It's a lot more in depth. And then the smithing seems pretty straightforward. But the biggest difference is, it seems, is the ore bank and the metal bank. But well, okay, it's not the same, I should say, but it's pretty straightforward. So if I go down here to the interface, I would say is a little bit clunky to navigate until you get used to it. It's a little bit confusing at first, but basically you click on the metal and then you have these options, right? Masterwork. So this is like the really, you can make super good armor in a late game armor with smithing, which is cool. You can't do that in old school, obviously. But if I come down here, click on this, so I begin the project, and that's how I get this thing, right? Which is an unfinished smithing item. And then if I go to the anvil, my character automatically starts smacking it. Now, I believe the meta thing to do for training smithing is like you make a bunch of these, so you fill up your inventory, right, with these unfinished smithing items, which I think if I just go back in here, for example, how do I do it? Smithing interface. Okay, so I right click, open smithing, and then if I click this like iron full helmet, for example. Okay, so yeah, see, now I have two of these, and I believe I can just AFK right here and it'll just pound on it. But as you can see, there's another AFK meter type thing here, and that's the heat, that orange bar here. So as that goes down, basically it means that my item's cooling down, and the cooler it is, the less effective my hits are. And you can see the top blue one, that's progress, right? At least I think that's how it works. You guys can correct me in the comments. And I believe in the late game, you can get an item where you like feed it coal and it keeps this heat up for you so you can AFK. So that's why I was saying the meta thing was to do what I just did, where you create two items and your guy just smacks and just keeps making them until your inventory is done, right? And so I think if you have that auto heat thing that keeps the heat up, you can just AFK for a really long time. But anyways, I've been rambling about mining smithing for a while. Let's try to make the steel ore box, which I need coal and silver for. I don't know if there's any coal in this mine, though. But anyways, let me figure that out. Let me see if I can make the mithril one. I don't know what smithing level I need to make that, though. But I'm going to figure this stuff out and get back to you when I'm ready to like get into some mining and stuff. So one other thing I forgot to mention is that I can't show it right here because I have a mithril pickaxe, but it's important to keep up with your tier of pickaxe with the rock that you're mining. So if I had 40 mining, for example, and I went to go mine this adamantite with my mithril pickaxe, it would be very slow. You can still do it, but you need to keep up your tier of pickaxe with the tier of rock that you're mining. And you can make an RS3 up to a level 90, I think. The Elder Rune, I believe that's level 90. You can keep up to a level 90 pickaxe. So being able to keep up your mining with your smithing and kind of doing them interchangeably seems like it's pretty important. Because there's other ways to obtain other pickaxes and whatnot, like the dragon pickaxe and whatnot. But for the most part, it seems like the meta way to do it is through mining and smithing. All right, so I have filled up my handy dandy new mithril ore box with stuff to make mithril. Now, somebody was saying that I'm supposed to do smithing in the artisan's workshop. I'm not sure if that's just for the normal unlocks Or what? Like the cannon upgrades and stuff? Blacksmith's outfit piece. Oh, okay. So that's you can get the XP outfits. So that's good. But I don't know. Do you still get like favor or whatever from doing normal smithing, or do you have to do the artisan's workshop stuff? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But I guess I'll just start smithing here for now. But I wonder if I deposit. Oh, it deposits everything from the ore box as well automatically. That's really nice. So let's make a bunch of mithril stuff and try to get our smithing up. I really want to keep my smithing up. I already have an adamant pickaxe, which you make at level 40 now, which is a little bit weird. But I want to keep my smithing up because once I get to like after rune, I think I can no longer buy the pickaxes from the store. And also I need to be able to make the adamant ore box if I want to be able to store adamant. So I like how this goes. There's a lot more synergy between mining and smithing, it feels like now. All right, so I decided to make a full set of mithril gear, which is what I got. This is what these unfinished items are. And just because I figured if I do waterfall quest or something, then I can use them potentially. And it's going to be a lot better than my level 1 staff that I've been using. But then I noticed you can upgrade them, so that's cool. Like if you upgrade them to this is the second version, you get slightly better stats. But and like I said, this whole system is really cool and it seems pretty deep. But my main complaint is that I think the XP feels really slow to me. Like I've been doing this for a little while and I'm only up to level 34. By the time I finish this whole +2 set of armor and weapons, I'm going to be at maybe level 35, maybe level 36 after doing all of that. So I'm not really sure. I think there's something I'm missing here maybe. I don't know. It just feels like the XP per bar is really low. And maybe it's something that I'm supposed to be doing in the Artisan's Workshop here. I don't know. I might have to do some research and figure it out. Okay, so I did a little bit more research. Turns out, first of all, I was on the right track with the upgrading thing. Apparently, upgrading the armor, you make the armor and then upgrade it as high as you can. That's the right idea and the best XP. But then what you do is you take the fully upgraded armor and you take it over here and you turn it into these burial sets, which basically destroys it, but you get a ton of XP. And I think for an Ironman, that's the right approach because I'm not going to need, a million sets of rune armor. I might want to save some for disassembling for invention components and stuff later on. But I think for now, that's the right approach to kind of maximize the XP I'm getting for each bar, right? So I think that's the right approach, but I can't do that until adamant. That's what this guy says, because I couldn't figure out how to do it. This little dwarf guy says that I need to be doing adamant or better, which I unlock at level 40. So I think what I'm going to do then is I think I'm just going to stop on this for now. The whole point of this section was to get an idea of what's going on with the whole mining and smithing rework because they I had no idea what was going on. And now I do have somewhat of an idea of what's going on, but I don't exactly know what I'm doing as far as how to do this all efficiently. So please leave some tips and comments below about how I should be going around mining and smithing, because it seems like the way they're synergized now is that you kind of want to level them at the same time. Especially as an Ironman, right? Because I need to make the ore box and I need to make more pickaxes and stuff. So I kind of need to be leveling them at the same time. So if you guys have tips for that, certainly let me know. But otherwise, I think I'm going to end off this episode today. We learned so much in this episode for, the mining and smithing stuff, obviously. But then we fell in love with archaeology because that skill is awesome. Honestly, I think genius design, I think. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. We learned a lot. Next episode, I think we're going to get back into questing. I think that questing is how I want to get up these next few smithing levels, catch this up a little bit. There's a lot of base quests out there. the Holy Grail, Merlin's Crystal, and stuff like that give great XP, that are still, kind of those base quests that you always need. And I kind of want to just crank some of those out so I can get into the more RS3 content. Sorry if that's getting a little bit repetitive. Also, thank you for everybody who has been leaving suggestions in the comments. I'm not getting a ton of views on these videos or nothing, but they've really been helpful and have given me some direction and some things to consider. So thank you to all those, and stay tuned for the next episode. Probably going to be cranking out a bunch of quests, but it should be fun. I've been having fun with it. It's a little bit different experience, even doing some of the old quests that I've done a million times by now. It still feels a little bit refreshing doing them on RS3 because it's just a kind of a different experience. And then obviously there's a lot of new RS3 quests out there. So thanks. Stay tuned for next time, and leave me a like and subscribe if you want to see some more.